Hey, it's WWE Hall of Famer from the Legion of Doom, Road War Animal.
And I'm Big Mike, Michael Elgin, representing Impact Wrestling. And we're here so you can listen to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling podcast.
Monty and the Pharaoh. Oh, what a rush.
I'm having a wonderful time with Monty and the Pharaoh, and I'm going to put him in a crossface chicken, and he's going to go down right now. Yeah.
Yes, I will be riding high. Yeah.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monty and the Pharaoh, seen only here out of Indie Music TV, live from Ronkonkoma, Long Island. Ooh. At the board, Matty Ice. Matty, how are you, buddy?
Doing good, as always. How are you?
Oh, bro, I got to give you super props, man. Friday, Saturday, home runs. Your production work was top-notch.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
Bro, I think you're going to get the call. I think you're going to get the call up to the big leagues. You're going to leave Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast.
I would never leave.
That would be so.
Dude, would that be tough on you?
Mean.
Like,
It would be really tough.
That'd be mean.
It would be a sad day here.
I would try to make it work.
Like, do both shows?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we all go up somewhere together. I think that may be coming soon.
Yeah.
And that's all due to the guy on the right, the star of the show, Mr. Jimmy Pharaoh. Jimmy, my friend, how are you?
What I do?
My wife hates that when I do the,
What?
how are you?
Why?
I like the overemphasis.
The way you say it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So how you coming down from Cloud 9 after having Mr. Bob Backlund in studio?
That was my favorite moment we've ever done. That's how I feel about that. That was the best interview I think we've ever given, and that was the best experience I've had doing the show with you.
Were you rubbing your nipples when you're watching a video from home?
It wasn't a sexually stimulating experience, but it was cerebrally everything that I've always felt about pro wrestling. He confirmed who he is as a person. He really is Bob Backlund. He's the guy we grew up watching. He is the All-American boy. How awesome it was to not be let down by somebody that we looked so up to before we got to meet them. Bob Backlund was 12 out of 10 on an experience level for me.
I don't think it could be explained any better, my friend.
It was
any
amazing.
Better.
Then he stood on his head.
And by the way,
and you still haven't done it. You said you were going to do what he did.
I'm not ready for
You're
it,
not
bro.
standing on
I'm
your
not
head,
ready
right?
for it.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't blame you.
But I would personally say that was one of the finest. Look, we've had tons of interviews, right?
Really
Tons of tons of great shows. Forget about the interviews, just everything. But that one was super duper special.
Right.
And not one curse. Right, not
the
one.
reduced version that I sent to you today for the cable, show.
And by the way, if anyone doesn't know, we're on cable television here in New York. We'll get to that in a minute. But go ahead.
Yeah, sure, but not one. And I turned to our partner in crime, Bart, at the studio as I got ready to roll the footage. I said, there will not be one horn. We could almost literally grab the popcorn and sit back with this at it.
Yeah.
Because he's so interesting. He doesn't curse.
Right.
We flowed with Bob. It was very...
Not that we curse that much anyway.
No, but, you know,
But
sometimes.
big difference between the Sandman, who you would be bleeping
and that's
out
cool.
through a nonstop
Sandman is
interview.
Sandman.
Right?
Right.
And then Bob Backlund.
Right. Great either way.
Well, we've got a special guest tonight. Came into us a little late, which was very exciting to grab onto this.
Yeah, I
Mr.
woke up
Brett,
to that news. I'm
make
like,
sure I'm saying it right, Brett Azar.
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 Yeah. He's
Who's
a
a
czar.
star.
That makes sense.
He's a czar
Yeah.
with a star.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's the star of America's most watched program, The Young Rock. He
ratings are
plays
good.
Bob Backlund's main enemy, the Iron Sheik.
Right.
But before we get to that, my friend, I want to thank the band that sings the song for the Monty and the Pharaoh show, Wisteria Hall. By the way, I'm just setting up my computer here. I do apologize. I can't do two things
Where'd
at
you go?
once because
Oh, there you
I'm
are.
getting old.
Yeah.
Our own Jimmy Farrow with his partner Bart Griggs make up Wisteria Hall. They sing such great songs as In My Dreams, This Life, Not Far Behind, Here Comes the Rain. You can find their music on Spotify, iTunes, and Reverb Nation. If you didn't know it, this is the Monty and the Pharaoh show, Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. You can catch us on YouTube, the Monty and the Pharaoh page, Facebook Live, Monty and the Pharaoh page, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Twitch TV, the Monty and the Pharaoh page, channel 115 every Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 7:30 in the reduced version with Mr. Azar.
Azar.
Will be coming up within the next week or so.
Yes, sir.
For early risers, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. May I have
Azar.
another? May I have
There you
another
go.
cable?
Every-
cable version.
Every Saturday from 6 a.m. to 6:30 for the early risers, and channel 20 from 2 a.m. to 2:30. That's like right after this show for these late night partiers.
Right after picking up Checkers at the drive-through, which is what the Pharaoh does.
Dude, do you eat Checkers
Dude,
a lot?
I live for Thursday nights after the show because I always come in.
What do you get from Checkers? I need to understand. Like, what does the Pharaoh eat from Checkers?
Well, my diet is very similar to Jim Cornette's, as you probably know already. Jim Cornette lives on Wendy's, so he's into the fast food, you know, and unfortunately, so am I. Usually I get the big box of chicken nuggets.
Right.
They're like these round things, and they're really good. And half the time you ask for sauce, and they forget to give it to you, and you go home and you're pissed because they taste really dry without them. And then they have the spicy fries. So I get the spicy fries. I love the spicy. I've already had 2 feet of my stomach taken out, but I love them spicy fries because I'm determined to have 2 more feet taken out.
Take it out.
So
just for Checkers.
Right, and the chicken spicy too, by the way. So it's like these spicy chicken balls, and you got these.
So how do you go from Friday night, right? We had the Patriot in studio with Buff Bagwell.
Yeah.
Along with Kevin Sullivan and Andrew Anderson,
yeah.
who actually took over the show for
Right.
their interview with Metal Maniac.
God.
You could catch that on our...
I'm still on that.
Right.
Thank God. Yeah, go
But
on.
then we went to dinner
Yeah.
with a spread of some, prime rib.
Hey, wait a minute. I ate like I had 6 assholes that night.
Absolutely.
And I never do that.
But how do you go from that to Checkers?
Well, you see, when we went to the restaurant, we were fortunate enough that I didn't have to reach into the mothball that's in my pocket. So,
Mothball.
I'm very grateful that I didn't have to, and I got a chance to eat real food, which was very exciting for the Pharaoh. For
Right.
a guy named the Pharaoh, I don't get to eat like a Pharaoh, So on Friday night, or Thursday night, I go to Checkers because, I got $8.67.
Right.
So I think I also get a burger with that too.
You should double up the burger.
Yeah, I should, but that would probably be $9.42.
Well, anyway.
I'm careful.
Let's-
What?
We'll be right back. I don't know what to say after
a
that.
careful
We'll be
guy.
right back after this commercial break with our special guest, Mr. Brett Azar, star of NBC's The Young Rock.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back. In the meantime, I'm saving up for another big bite.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I gotta take a dump. What? No. I mean, I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP. collectibles, sport and non-sport cards, wrestling items, autographed items. We buy, sell, and trade. M&J Video Games and Collectibles, located at 1049 Queen Street, Southington, Connecticut. Call us at 1-860-479-9223 or 860-93-GAMES. M&J Video Games and Collectibles.
You want to star in your own success? Call QuickCast. www.quickcast.com. 866-7-CAST-NOW. That's 866-7-CAST-NOW. QuickCast.
Star in your own success.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monty Nefaro, only seen here out of Indie Music TV in Long Island, New York. And I want to take this moment to welcome star of the Young Rock, Brett Azar. Brett, how are you, my friend?
Yes, Baba. Pharaoh #1, monkey #1. And thank you. Very intelligent American. Yes, Baba.
I'm loving it.
That's perfect.
It is perfect, isn't it?
Sheiky, baby, is that you?
Brett, before we get in...
Shiki baby #1.
Sheiky!
NBC, Young Rock #1. You watch Tuesday, 8 p.m. You don't, you jabroni. I'll break your back. I'll put you in camouflage. I'll make you humble.
Better tune in now.
Brett, you're part of America's most watched show on NBC. How does that make you feel right now?
Cloud9. Just Cloud9, 100%. And the fact that the Sheik can watch it, and he's still alive, and I'm able to do him. I'm able to respect the legend.
Yeah.
It's an honor beyond honors.
Well, it's an honor to have you on this show. Really quick question. Now that you're becoming a big star, or maybe are a big star at this point, what are you doing living in New Jersey, bro? You should be in California right now.
What? Oh, my God.
It's either you're close to New York or you're close to LA. And right now, the love of my life and I are moving into a new home in New Jersey. So I think I'm going to be stuck here a little while.
Jersey's nice. I lived there when I was a young Pharaoh. You'll love it. Jersey's fine.
How are you and the better half holding up with the whole COVID thing? How's the last year been for you?
We did well. The part that sucked was when I was filming. I was in Australia for 3 months. So, and that was during lockdown. So she got quarantined in New Jersey, and I got to go experience Australia. That was rough for her, but we survived that, thankfully.
How long were you in Australia for?
About 3 months.
Okay.
Beginning of September to end of November.
So, Brett, take us to the beginning. How do you land the role for the Iron Sheik? How did that happen?
Luck.
Okay.
It was during quarantine. Well, I've been acting for a few years. I've been at it about 10 years now. And my biggest break before this was being Arnold Schwarzenegger's naked body in Terminator Genesis, where I was his younger self, and they plopped his head on my body, and then old Arnold and young Arnold fought each other, and that was me fighting Arnold the whole time.
Nice.
And then so that opened a lot of doors, just being Arnold's guy. And from there, I did some co-star, guest star roles on Blacklist. I did some awesome commercials with Ryan Reynolds. But then we're in the middle of lockdown, COVID lockdown. The world shut down in America, basically. So I didn't think I was going to get any work. And randomly, in July, I'd never shaved my head before. And I told my fiance, I was like, I think I'm going to shave my head. I did it. And she looked at me, she goes, yeah, we're not keeping that look. And so I was like, yeah, I'll grow it back. It wasn't a look for me. And then 3 days later, I got the call to audition for Young Rock as Sheiky. And I had a 5 o'clock shadow at the time. And they were like, you know the Iron Sheik, you need a mustache. I was like, give me 2 months, I'm good. And they were like, yeah, okay. But yeah, the fact that I randomly shaved my head 3 days before auditioning for this role just told me it was meant to be.
Hey, how
And
did
then,
how did the wife feel when she found out that the look was going to stay for a little while?
she was more concerned about the mustache. 'Cause
Okay.
she was like, yeah, you are going to shave that, right? Once you're done. I was like, season 2, babe.
How quickly after the audition did you get the news that you got the role? Do you find out right away, or what was the story?
No, they we did the initial audition, and it was a video submission, and I knew it was the Iron Sheik, so I tried really quick. They wanted it in a day or two, so I really quick to do the accent, to talk like him, and I just basically just did like a promo that the Sheik does. I improv the promo, and then they were like, okay, and then they sent me a script to follow, and it continued. There was probably like 2 or 3 auditions before they were like, you're the guy.
Okay.
And as soon as I got that, they had me work directly with a voiceover coach. But eventually, I ended up getting in touch with the Sheik himself and told him what was going on. I talked to his family and his managers. And so when I had lines to give him the show, I was like, hey, Sheik, how would you say this? And he would do it. I would repeat it. And I'm doing okay on the show, apparently.
Sheik's personality is quite legendary, as you, I'm sure, are well aware of at this point.
Legend, Baba. Yes, Baba.
How receptive was he to you? Is he anything like the wild reputation he has? Were you nervous about contacting him?
When he is not in gimmick, he's at home with his family. He is the sweetest, mellowed out guy you'll ever meet.
Really?
The guy he'll make you smile no matter what. He's just a genuine, nice man who loves his family and just loves the appreciation that everyone gives him. He is humbled, very humbled by his fans. But the gimmick, as an actor, seeing, I hated the Sheik when I grew up, when I was growing up. So, I was all about Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior.
Okay.
I hated it. So when I got this, I was like, oh man, that's okay. But as I did the character research, he's such a good person, and the fact that he was able to act
right
as Sheik full time as an actor, you appreciate that. He never broke character. And he got an entire world to hate him, minus Iran, who loved him. That's skill, man. You respect the legend, Champlin. Yes, Baba.
Absolutely.
Brett, the show's taking off. Are you concerned, and it's early in the game, I understand, but are you concerned that you may be pigeonholed, held in your acting career? Being that you're so great at this role?
I'm not worried about that. This role, whenever someone asked me what my ideal acting role was, I never considered myself a lead heartthrob kind of guy. I saw it more as like a Batista in the acting world, but I would always say I want to be the most badass bad guy or the best comic relief sidekick. And the Sheik is all that wrapped in one. So if I can play with that for the rest of my life, so be it. It's an amazing honor to play that character, to be him. And if Young Rock has a storyline for the Sheik to go for years, I'm all in.
It has to be an advantage for you because you actually are a legitimate wrestling fan from back in the day. So that had to help you at least ease into this role, I'm assuming.
It got me excited. Very excited.
What is your greatest wrestling memory to date, Brett?
Professionally or myself?
Professional wrestling. Being that you grew up enjoying the sport.
Yeah, as a fan, what are your fondest memories?
Oh, jeez. When... Oh.
Well, you got Hogan,
Man,
you got
there's so
Warrior.
much, like, all that 90s, like the NWO
Okay.
and the Divas when it was like Trish Stratus, and, you know, with the thong matches and
bra and panty matches. You like those?
God.
When the WWE was more R-rated,
Right.
and they were actually allowed to swear in the ring, and
Right.
those storylines were awesome, man. And you know, I was a fan of The Rock. Honestly, when I remember there was a Royal Rumble, and he came in, and Triple H was like, "Oh shit." Yeah, it's just that era, that '90s era, was my prime time in the wrestling world. And then, all right, so there, the Guerreros, Eddie Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero.
Sure.
I hated Chavo, and I loved Eddie.
Wow.
And when we got to Australia and did our 2-week quarantine, the first day we went right to Wrestling 101. And Chavo Guerrero was our coach.
Really?
And I walked up to him and I went, "Man, I hated you so much." And he just looked at me and went, "Thank you.
Right.
That means I did it right."
Right.
And I was just like, "You get to," and he taught us for the entire show. He was our wrestling coach. All the actors they brought in to play the wrestlers, we didn't have stuntmen. We did all our own wrestling, as much as we wanted to do. Chavo was like, if he can do it safely, let him do it. And so it was anything goes, and it was such an honor to actually be able to do that. It made the character feel complete. The fact that I got to be the Sheik on camera and actually do the wrestling. I was so I was even watching matches over and over again. That you had Bob Backlund on.
Yes,
Mr.
we did,
Bob
sir.
Backlund, 6-time champion, Mr. Bob Backlund. I will see you, Madison Square Garden, #1 arena in the world, Madison Square Garden. I will beat you, but you respect me. You respect my talent. Hey, you champion, Iranian Olympic champion. Yes, sir.
Yes, perfect.
I would die to meet Bob Backlund. There's a match that might be my favorite. That might be my favorite match now with the Sheik.
I was in a state of shock when
I
was in a state of shock when it happened. I couldn't believe that the Iron Sheik had just defeated Bob Backlund. I remember being very pissed off. That's what I remember. No disrespect, Sheik. No disrespect, Sheiky. How easy was it? How easy was it for the training? Like, you know, being an actor is one thing, but learning how to take bumps and stuff. How easy was that for you? Was it difficult?
Okay. So I'm a pretty muscular guy.
I see that
in the weight room.
A little bit.
I see that.
I'll bench over 400. I'll squat over 400.
Man.
So we get in the ring day one, and Chavo has us running back and forth, bouncing off the ropes. If you hit those ropes wrong, you're walking around with a bruise across your back.
Really?
The entire week. Just something so simple that you think nothing of. You're like, damn, there's actually skill in just bouncing off a rope. And then day one, he was like, all right, we're going to learn to take a bump, learn to fall. And he started us with doing somersaults. So everyone lined up, and we just do a somersault and get back in line. I come up, I do my somersault, I stand up, I black out, I fall down, passed out. And he was like, all right, go again. I do a somersault, I stand up, black, passed out. So then this whole joke became, yeah, Sheik, he can bench 500 pounds, but he can't do a somersault.
Oh, man.
And so, I mean, eventually my brain got used to it. Just
okay.
When's the last time you did a somersault? Like third grade, right?
Right. Yeah,
And,
probably.
So that was, yeah. But then everything else was just after the somersault fiasco, everything was butter. It was a blast. Chavo had us, jumping off the top rope, getting thrown out over the top rope. It was all the submission holds, all the you deploy.
Was that taught on day one, by the way, the camel clutch, or did they work you up to that one? Because I figured that'd be the first thing. Okay, first things first, camel clutch.
I think camel clutch was day 2.
Okay, that's close enough. That's close enough. Yeah. Okay. How does it start with acting for you? Were you thinking about becoming an actor at an early age? I mean, where does it all begin with the acting in general?
It began in elementary school. I was doing the after-school plays.
Okay.
But I was always an athlete. In high school, I was captain of the football team, captain of the baseball team, and I always wanted to be in theater, but I never had the time. And in high school, I was actually in the competitive chorus because I could sing, and all my friends, all my friends in the chorus were actually my closer friends, and they were also the theater people. So I always wanted to be in that theater world. So when I got to college, I didn't pursue athletics in college, and I did the gym rat thing, but then I jumped right into theater at University of Rhode Island, and I did one their main play at the time, and fell in love with it, fell in love with the stage. But then in the gym, the supervisor of the college gym he was like, "You ever consider bodybuilding?" I was like, "You mean like Arnold?" "Yeah, sure." So I started bodybuilding in college, and did that all the way until I was 23, 24. And then at the time I was living with an ex-girlfriend in Rhode Island, and she had an interview with a modeling and acting agent. This was 10 years ago. And I went with her, I sat on the couch, and the agent was like, "Who are you?" I was like, "I'm just the boyfriend." And he goes, "Sign this." He signed me to his modeling agency that day. And I told him, I was like, "I'm not a model. I'm not doing the model thing. It's not my gig. I got a full-time job. I'm running my own personal training business back in Rhode Island." And he's like, "Well, we have an acting division." I was like, "Well, okay, that I'm interested in." And he's like, "I'll see what I can do for you." The next day, he booked me on a commercial for ESPN.
Nice.
And I was like, "Oh, all right."
Nice.
And then we were driving home after filming that, and he called me again. He's like, "I got another audition for you." I was like, this is time-consuming. I got a full-time job. He was like, "Well, what do you want to do with your life?" I was like, "I want to be an actor." He goes, "I'm giving you a shot." So I closed my business, set my clients up with other trainers that I knew, and I moved to New Jersey 2 weeks later. And my girlfriend dumped me because we were living together for 2.5 years.
Well, whoops on her
wanted to settle
part.
down,
Whoops.
and I just became but it worked out.
Nice. What major, if I can ask, as you obviously, okay, so now we're gonna do the acting thing. Were there any influences on you as far as actors go? Did you look up to certain actors, or say to yourself, "I'd like to pattern myself after this one," or you know where I'm getting at? Who were your peers?
It was Arnold, 100% Arnold.
Okay.
My family went through some really bad stuff when I was young, and my father went to jail for life. And I grew up without a father figure, and my grandfather, he was a traveling salesman, so he was only around on weekends, but he had a collection of Arnold movies. So when I was younger, I would always watch Arnold, and I started the Arnold accent way back when I was a kid, 6 years old, 7 years old. "Yeah, I get to the chopper. Come on, do it now. I'm here. Hear me, I'm here." And so I always told myself I was going to grow up and be a hero. And my father was a bad guy, and I knew that I wanted to be a good guy. So it was that drive to be the Arnold superhero with the body and everything from day one. So it kind of manifested itself that I got the role to be Arnold later in life. Like, literally.
Well, you did it. Good job.
Yeah, it was special.
How much studying did you do as far as Sheik goes? Like, I know you were looking at eventually you did get to videotapes and stuff, but like, you get the role. I mean, are you immediately hitting the YouTube highlights? I mean, is that the deal? Or?
It was the YouTube promos. It was the documentary that the Magan brothers did, The Sheik, on Amazon Prime at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that every day, and I was training my ass off. So I did an hour cardio every day, and that's what I watched during my cardio. And you would hear me. I kept my exercise bike in the basement. You could hear me on the second floor of the house screaming, repeating everything that the Sheik would say and exactly how he would say it. But even with that, they follow his family. So I would watch the interviews with Carol and his daughter Nicole every day. And now they call me and they're like, "We love what you're doing." And so to have that come full circle to be like, I was like studying you guys as my character, and now you guys are like taking me in as a family member. This is more than I could dream of. To know that they're proud, and to know that I felt like I had a history with them just because I would watch them every day.
How about developing How about developing a newfound appreciation for the bad guys? You were clearly a good guy rooter as a fan growing up, and now you're playing the bad guy. Your eyes open a little bit to the role of the heel in professional wrestling?
Again, it's as an actor, I have so much respect for these guys, because if you can get a fan to hate you, that's talent.
Oh yeah,
that's acting skill.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I have so much respect, and not only that is they say wrestling's fake. Yeah, the plot lines are the plot lines. It's just like a movie, but the physicality of it is not fake. I mean, they go out there and they murder their body. You don't really have to do that in the acting world. They have it full. They have a full-time feel there, and I have nothing but respect for all of them.
Were you relieved when filming was done so you could give your body a break?
Nope.
No.
Nope. A role like that, you just want to keep going.
Yeah,
I never wanted to stop.
Boy, Bob Backlund would love you when you meet him. He's going to love that work ethic. I'm
All right,
telling you.
well, Brett, we're going to take your knowledge and we're going to put it to the test. At Monty and the Pharaoh, we have a game show just made for you. It's called Who's the Hump Now?
Oh, my dear
So
Lord.
right after this commercial break, we're going to take your studying and we're going to ask you a few questions about the Sheik, and we'll see if you get them right, okay?
Yes, Baba.
There we go.
Number one.
All right, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Who's the hump now? See you in a second. That's right, folks. Canine Corral. For all your dog daycare and overnight care, call 631-549-1544. That's 631-549-1544. The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah. Jeff Quest, graphics design, custom vinyl lettering, and all your art and video needs. 516-317-8204. That's for Jeff Quest, graphic design.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV in Long Island, New York. Welcoming our special guest, star of the Young Rock, Mr. Brett Azar. Brett, are you ready to play Who's the Hump Now?
Yes, Baba. From the A to the Z. Let's go, Baba.
Okay, here's the deal, though.
You look like Jabron.
You can only answer these questions in the Iron Sheik's voice. If you fail to do so, you will be penalized.
Wow, this is rough.
The star of the show, Jimmy Farrow, will be asking you these questions. Are you ready?
Yes, Baba.
Oh my God!
Yes, sir.
I'm nervous. I'm Shiki baby. I apologize in advance. Question number 1: born in what city and country was the Iron Sheik?
Tehran, Iran, number 1.
Let's check and see if that's a that's a
winner!
well, that's a winner. Congratulations. Good job so far. Hang in there, Brett.
Baby. Okay, here we go. On to number 2. What did the Iron Sheik win when he got the Olympic medal the year that he won it? Give us the year that the Iron Sheik won his Olympic medal. Uh-oh.
Iran Olympic champion, Baba. The year 1970. Six.
Is that correct? 1976? Oh, man. All right. All right. You're 1 out of 2. Hang in there, Shiki, baby. Number 3?
What is it, Baba? What? You make me look like you're browning.
No, Sheik. I understand that sometimes your meds are a little off. So the answer is 1971. We don't hold it against you. Not at all. Not at all. On to question number 3. What is the Iron Sheik's real name?
Close for the Siri, Baba.
Yeah, he's
Well, let's check. Is he correct on that? All right. Question number 4.
He pronounced it. I can't.
The
even
real, the legend.
I can't even.
Siri.
I can't even pronounce that.
And by the way, Brett, Maria Davis says, you've got a banging body, Shiki, baby.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Shiki, baby. Number 1.
All right, on to question number 4, Shiki baby. Number 4. Who did the Iron Sheik defeat for the WWE title?
Mr. Bob Backlund, 6-time champion, Mr. Bob Backlund at Madison Square Garden.
Is that
Yes,
correct? That's a correct answer. Well done, Shiki. Well done.
He's just
Question
soaring along.
number 5.
How many girls can the Iron Sheik make humbled in a day? What? What kind of question is this?
How many girls?
Only one girl, Baba.
Only
Baba
one?
Carol. Only woman for Iron Sheik.
Ah.
Is that a correct answer? That doesn't
Wait a
seem
minute!
like it's a correct
How can
answer.
that be an incorrect? I'm going to protest on Sheik's behalf.
You're going to protest
Yeah,
on
I'm
Sheiki's behalf?
protesting on that.
All right, hold on. We're going to go to the board. Can we protest on Shiki's behalf?
Dad, don't you hit me with the gong. He's
No.
going to gong me.
The rules are the rules.
What?
The rules are the
I'll
rules.
beat you at
Nah.
Concord Club.
Listen, I think that there should be a stipulation to protest. That was his answer.
I'm
Why-
sorry,
how can his
Shiki,
answer
you're
be-
wrong. The answer
Oh, Sheik,
is
Sheik.
47. 47 women will be humbled by the Sheik in one day.
Shiki, I think you got screwed on this one.
All right, number
let's go
6.
on. Where did the Iron Sheik lose his title to Hulk Hogan? The location, Shiki.
Also Madison Square Garden.
Nice.
Is that correct? That's a correct answer.
See how he comes right
Well
back?
done.
Right,
Well done,
come.
Shiki.
He comes right back
That's
after
the
that.
Brony Punk, California beach bum, Hulk Hogan. The Brony. I was supposed to break his leg, but it's taken him back to Minnesota. But no, I respect Vince McMahon. I create Hulkamania. Without Iron Sheik, there's no Hulkamania.
Right.
There's no WrestleMania. Iron
preach.
Sheik creates that, Bubba.
Preach, Shiki, preach. She's right.
He is right. Question number 7, Mr. Jimmy Farrell.
Okay, here we go. What? Sheik, again, I have to apologize in advance. This is just wrong. Okay, number 7. How much cocaine can the Iron Sheik snort in one sitting? You sick bastard. What kind of question is this? Go on,
Shiki, thoughts?
Oi.
Everything in moderation, Baba. Everything in moderation.
That's a great answer.
Matt?
What is that a
the
correct
verdict,
answer,
Matt?
Mr. Producer?
It's right there.
Oh! I'm sorry, Shiki. The answer is more than any human alive.
What's that?
More than any human alive. I'm sorry,
I am now
Sheiky.
filing my second protest on behalf of the show.
That is the real, Baba. That is the real.
This is just unbelievable.
Question number 8.
He's going to come in here and camel clutch me. What is your problem? All right, go ahead. What do we got? See what I'm saying?
Question number 8.
Okay, here we go. Who was the partner of the Iron Sheik when they won the tag team titles at WrestleMania 1?
The Russian Nikolov. Fuck his last name.
Volkov, I'll help you. Volkov. We got a winner there? Well done, Sheiky.
Yeah.
Well done.
You both better be nice on that one after what you did
All
in
right.
previous questions.
This is the last one, and it's the most important
thank
one.
God.
Sheiky, the final Pharaoh question.
Wait.
Here we go.
But I don't even know the answer. All right, fine. Here we go. Who came up with the word jabroni? What?
Iron Sheik number 1. The Rock make jabroni mainstream, but Sheiky, old school Sheiky, he creates jabroni, and the Rock respects Sheiky. Yes, Baba. Respect Sheiky, baby. He gives credit to Sheiky, baby.
Well, Sheiky, we want to thank you for playing.
Who's the hump now?
I don't know where I got that from.
What is
Hello.
wrong with you?
What a mess up.
I
Want to thank you for playing and for playing and doing so well.
Wait a minute, he
the
wins?
show will be sending you a
wins
special
something?
autograph from the star of the show,
No, that's not
Jimmy
win-
Farrow.
That's not winning anything.
We'll be right back. No, really, Brett, thank you for playing. That was so much fun. We'll be right back after this commercial break with star of the Young Rock, Brett Azar. Azar.
I'll sign it when I'm drunk. Oy, you're ridiculous. Be right back.
And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
In the mood for a freshly roasted cup of coffee? www.offtherailscoffeeroasters.com.
Elm Logistics, for all your logistic needs. Call 631-299-3595. That's 631-299-3595. Elm Global Logistics. Pride, performance, and partnerships.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monty and Farrell, only seen here out of Indie Music TV from Ronkonkoma, Long Island. And we're welcoming our special guest star of the Young Rock, Mr. Brett Azar. Brett, thanks for being such a great sport during that. We really enjoyed
That
that.
was awesome.
Thank you so much.
It was great.
Did we catch you off guard?
Would you wait a minute? You didn't give him a heads up. Hey,
Sheiky
he's
never
terrible.
up come.
Is he terrible? How terrible is he, Sheiky? I mean, come on. Hey.
Brett, I got to tell you, man, you are jacked to the gills. What's your training regimen like?
Oh, God.
2 hours weights, 1 hour cardio every day. Unless I feel tired, then I.
Now, a lot of bodybuilders, they don't like to do cardio. How come you do cardio?
Because I need the abs, Baba. Need the abs, Baba. Use Baba.
All right, I'm going to hit you with a tough one. We're going to hit you with a tough one, Brett.
We are?
Have you ever used steroids or HGH?
Ooh, oi boy.
Everything in moderation, Baba.
In moderation. Okay.
I love it.
Yeah, that's
Loving
honest. That's honest. What's the diet like for the Sheiky?
Lamb #1. but seriously, I eat mainly all meat and fish, and then vegetable.
Okay.
That's and protein shakes. That's my main diet. And then I'll do. You know how The Rock does his epic cheat meals?
Right.
I do the same kind of thing where twice a week, maybe once or twice a week, I'll sit down, I'll have my normal meal, I'll have like 10 ounces of steak and 2 pounds of vegetables, but then I'll eat 2 pounds of fruit, 2 pizzas.
2
a full
pizzas?
plate of cookies.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
I'm actually set up. I'm setting up to do it right now.
It's binge night for Shiki. It's binge. That's awesome. I'm binging later. I'm going to get some checkers.
Yeah. A real baba from the A to the Z.
So Brett, as your star begins to grow, how's that affecting your relationship with your better half?
Oh, she's the most supportive woman I've ever met. That's why I'm engaged to her. That's why I'm moving into a house with her.
There you go.
Her name's Linda.
There you go.
And you know, the hardest thing that we went through was just me being away for so long in Australia during quarantine. But she handled that like a champ, and I couldn't ask for a better life partner. I guess Shiki got sentimental on that one, but yeah, I love her.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, congrats on
Fan.
And now,
well,
I mean,
go ahead.
no, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. We went to an autograph signing. By the way, I saw that you had an M&J video game commercial.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
They are. I'm going to be there on April 2nd doing an autograph signing.
Nice.
So if anyone wants to come out there,
Awesome.
I'll be at M&J video.
Excellent.
But we were doing one. We were doing one of those in Albany, and she's hot. She was working it, and a lot of people thought that she was a diva, WWE diva. And Virgil from NWO came up to us. He goes, "You guys aren't real wrestlers. Why are you not in the WWE?" And he was like, "Let me get Vince McMahon on the phone right now. You two need to be a tag team." I was like, "Okay, Virgil, you got it, man." But she loves the sport. She loves wrestling too. She's a big fan, so she's taken on like my management role, which I guess is very WWE.
Right.
To have the hot chick, the manager.
Right.
And, yeah, she's 100% on.
I don't think Virgil was that far off. Miz and Maurice worked. The Miz did fantastic with his wife on screen. Fantastic.
Right.
So Brett, Russell Campbell out there wants to ask, do you watch the product presently?
Yeah. Do I watch the show? Do I watch Young Rock?
No, not the show.
Are you
Raw,
watching
SmackDown,
professional wrestling
WWE
currently?
wrestling,
Any-
AEW wrestling.
I do. I mean, I saw it got pretty good with Roman Reigns lately. I'm a fan of his.
Okay. Okay.
It's tough with the COVID crap, like the audience being all cameras, and it's hard, man. It makes the storyline so.
Does it feel like
not like it
Twilight
was in
Zone
the
for a
90s.
guy who watched wrestling all those years back, like you have, like we have? Doesn't it feel like the Twilight Zone when you're watching today's product?
It feels, it feels like it's not the R-rated version we're used to. We're used to, the sex, drugs, swearing, and alcohol, and blood.
Right.
I mean, I can't remember the last time I actually saw anyone's face bloodied. I missed that.
Did you get injured at all? Did you get injured at all during the filming of the show with the wrestling scenes and stuff? Did you have any?
I strained my bicep. We were flipping out of the ring, and I had to hang on to the ropes as I jumped over the rope and jumped back in. So I strained a bicep. That was it. We had one guy who was playing Sergeant Slaughter. We were in rehearsals, and he went to kick a guy in the chest, and the guy he kicked was wearing a loose shirt, and his foot got caught in the shirt, and it actually pulled his hamstring, tore his hamstring.
Oh.
So the rest of the time we had to modify the fights around what Sergeant Slaughter was doing.
Right.
But no one was really badly injured because it is NBC. They want everyone to be safe, so they have crash pads everywhere if we're jumping around, falling out of places. They made sure that the moves we did weren't, too risky on the body.
Just
they wanted to make sure that we could actually.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Just out of curiosity.
Chavo
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brett.
Chavo was really on point. He was amazing. to make sure we were doing everything correctly and not, fucking someone up accidentally.
How was Chavo brought in? Did you ever find out how Chavo was brought in? Why did they select Chavo? And NBC obviously must have had a say in some of this. I'm curious.
Chavo, the show Glow that was on Netflix?
Sure.
Chavo was their wrestling coordinator as well, and he taught all those girls how to wrestle. And a lot of them had no athletic ability at all, and he turned them all into something that would read well on the camera. So he got his props there, and then they brought him on for this show.
Brett,
he's amazing. He is a legend.
Chavo
in his own right.
Fan Maria Davis is asking, can you give her another ab shot, please?
Oh, God.
What is it? Is this what's that fan stuff?
What,
Is he showing his belly button right now? I can't
Of course.
see anything. Oh, my God. What is he doing?
Hey, could you share with the fans any stories of your encounters with both Dwayne Johnson and the legend Arnold Schwarzenegger?
All right, with Arnold. So that fight scene that we had in Terminator Genesis, in the scene, we recreate that walk up to the three punks, and if you close goon to me now, and then old Arnold shows up behind me, and you won't be needing those. And then I turn around and we have this huge fight. So Arnold's fully dressed. I'm naked. And the wardrobe they gave me was a sock. I had a pantyhose. Not tied down, nothing like G-string tight. It was a sock.
Waving in the wind.
Bingo. Not only waving in the wind, I had to run at Arnold pretending to be shot by a shotgun, grapple with him, drop kick him, stand over him.
Oy. That had to be fairly intense, that moment of standing over him, waving in the wind. Oh, boy.
It was the most awkward situation I've ever been in, but I'll never be that embarrassed again in my life. And so now, when Arnold sees me, he goes, Brett, I don't recognize you. You're wearing too much clothing. He's like, yeah, I don't know who you are. You're wearing too much clothing. So,
why are you not waving in the wind?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Well, and in that case, the director came up to me one day, because we filmed this scene for a couple of weeks, and he goes, Brett, a lot of us guys here, our wives hate being forced to come to filming days. And he turns around and all the wives are lined up. And he goes, but for some reason, they want to be here for this. And I was just like, talk the wardrobe.
It's your lucky day.
Yeah. It was fun.
How about The Rock? Have you had any encounters with him? Considering the shows?
Yeah, I worked with him. I was his stunt double for SNL.
Okay.
When he did SNL a couple of years ago, and I was randomly on set when he was filming Central Intelligence in Boston.
Okay.
And I was walking around, and he came up to me. He and his cousin Tunaway, who's his main stunt guy. They approached me and they're like, "Oh, so you're the other stunt guy?" And I was like, "Huh?" And I just knew a guy who was working, so he brought me on set. He goes, "Yeah, I'm the other stunt guy." And apparently they had this special stunt guy who was supposed to do a split. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, no, I'm the stunt guy." But I got to sit with The Rock the whole time and talk about anything. Him and Kevin Hart and his cousin Tunaway, and then they ended up throwing me into the movie anyway, just as like an agent that would hold a gun to The Rock's head. So that was a cool moment. But then with filming, he was in Atlanta the whole time we were filming in Australia because he was filming another movie. So he was on Zoom calls when we were doing the script, and there was one call where he got kind of emotional because it was, these are his personal stories and they're all coming to life with us, and he was having that heartfelt moment because we were nailing it, and he was just saying how much he appreciated it, and he got kind of like, you could sense the emotions coming on. Shiki baby, love you. It's okay. Okay to cry, Baba. We all love you, Baba. And he goes, oh, Shiki, we love you too, man. That was a great moment.
It's well known that, of course, in real life, that Andre the Giant and the Iron Sheik did not really get along so great. Any chance we'll see any of that covered in the future episodes? If you might want to give us a spoiler alert.
You'll just have to watch and see.
I was hoping to get one out of him. Damn it.
Professional, Baba.
All right, so we'll be right back at this commercial break, and we'll discuss with Brett about some upcoming events. We'll be right back.
And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack. Oh, what's up, Mike?
Hey, Jimmy, what's going on?
Yeah, nothing much.
You know, Jimmy, I love this country.
Oh.
I love to buy Made in America material. And I love to buy my artwork at TAG, T-A-A-G, Made in America, 14 East Broadway, Port Jefferson, New York, 11717. The shop at the corner. You need a body shop? You need engine repair? Auto Excellence, Collision Specialists, 631-261-6420. That's 631-261-6420. Auto Excellence. All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monty and Afaro, filmed out of Indie Music TV in Ronkonkoma, New York. I want to give a shout out to Podcast Perched on the Top Rope. With all the crap out there, this show is actually really good. We recommend that you listen and listen to them and find them on your streaming sites. Brett, we got about 2 minutes. Farrow's going to hit you with a couple of one final question, and then we want to know where the fans can find you and any merchandise you might be selling.
All righty, Brett.
Instagram.
First of all, Shiki baby, thank you for coming on. We appreciate you gracing us with your Iranian presence.
Iranian, a merchant.
Okay, final question before we get to where you're going to be, in the near future. Where do you hope that this role will lead you to? Or is this, having the Terminator role, having doing shows like Gotham, having the chance to do the Iron Sheik? Is it basically the fantasy / action roles that you're after going down the road?
It's the character role. I love character acting, so I see it as legitimizing my character acting abilities. And for future roles, that could be anything. But it's fun to play something that I'm not, and it's fun to have a real person to be based on. It's the ultimate form of flattery to bring someone else's life.
Has this role been your most rewarding so far in your career doing the Sheik, or do you have a personal favorite moment?
This is definitely besides the connection I had to Arnold growing up and then actually becoming Arnold and working with him, that was one of the most special things that could ever happen to me, just because how Arnold got me through the hardest time in my life.
Sure.
And then, but as far as the acting, this is the role.
Excellent.
This is everything. From the A to the Z, #1 role.
Brett, I want to thank you again for coming on. You want to fill the fans in on where they can find you in the near future? Appearances, etc.?
Yes. Instagram on Brett Azar on Instagram. I'll always have updates on where I am. I'll be touring around April 2nd. I'll be at M&J Video Games. I'll go up to Heroes Hideout in Holyoke, Mass. The next day, I'll be back in Queens at
Wrestling Universe. Wrestling Universe.
Yeah, on the 4th, and then in May 15th, I'll be at Celeb Fest in Baltimore. At May 1st, I'm going to go up to Lebanon, New Hampshire, to what is it? I should know these things by heart.
The Sheik is going to Lebanon? I'm confused.
That's a little tricky. That one's tricky.
It's Arabian, Persian, it's all the same family. We all eat lamb and baklava. Lamb and baklava. Horribly.
Brett, I got to be 100% honest with you. I think you're going to be a huge star. Fans are loving you. I got to tell you personally, we just met this week over the internet, and I got to tell you, incredible personality, man. I think you're going to do fantastic, and we really appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you, Bob. Oh, wait, for fans, if they want T-shirts, I make for you. Autograph T-shirt.
Oh.
There's a link on my Instagram to a GoFundMe, or you can DM me on my Instagram, and we'll figure out Venmo, PayPal, whatever. I'm doing autograph T-shirts for everyone.
Do you do cameos for your fans?
I do. I'm on that too.
Nice.
And there's another one, celeb vids or something like that I'll do too.
Well, again, I want to remind you for participating in our show. A signed photo of our own Jimmy Farrell will be sent to you. So please handle that with care. That'll be worth tons of money in the future.
Use it as a coaster. What are you talking about? Stop it.
Brett, I want to thank you again, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon, and we'll see you at all those future events. Thank you.
No, thank you. Number one, Baba. Number one. Thank you, Baba. Love you.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon. All right, Jimmy. What do you think?
That was great.
Did you enjoy it?
He's got a great sense of humor.
What an incredible sense of humor, right?
By the way,
yeah,
he's clearly had some stage training. God, he reminds me the way he speaks of the way Lanny Poffo speaks. He's got that kind of voice. That's a compliment, Yeah.
He's
very well spoken. Very well spoken. That was great.
Well, we've done it again. Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. This is a top flight guy. He's going to do well.
Yeah, he's already doing well.
Upcoming events for people out there. Next week we have independent manager Mr. Big will be sitting on the couch. Big is a friend of the show.
Oh, yeah.
Then the next following week we've got the first MMA champion, heavyweight champion, Mark the Hammer Coleman in studio.
The UFC point of origin. Wow.
And then, then we have some of our regular shows, and I want to remind people that Money Inc., Ted DiBiase, and IRS will be in studio, 2 individual interviews, and then a final collective interview.
Get together.
So what did you learn most about Brett?
Quite a bit. I think it's awesome that he was already a wrestling fan before he got the role.
Right.
He was able to really appreciate it, and ease into it pretty much seamlessly, I think it's great that he's got a good woman. It's very important to have somebody who got you.
I agree.
Very important. And he really he seems to have his head, screwed on straight. He's a very smart guy. He's going to do well in this business, obviously. He's doing well. So, good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
I love playing the game, too, by the way.
Did you enjoy
it?
I
hope he had as much fun with us as we did with him.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that was a lot of fun doing that.
And Matt, good job producing that game. Thank you very much.
You're a little rough on the buzzer, though, Matt. I don't know, man. I feel like we kind of screwed Sheiky. I'm really not, that was rough.
Maria Davis, thank you for the compliment. Great show, Monty and Farrell. You both great. Thank you so much.
And we promise we will not show you our abdomens.
Oh, you don't want to see our abs.
If you haven't eaten yet tonight, you probably won't.
Maria Davis would throw up in her mouth if I showed my abs.
We want to keep her a fan. Yes,
yeah, absolutely. Real quick, I know we're running a little long. I just wanted to cover a couple of things real quick.
Yeah, okay.
One, Molly Holly getting put into the WWE Hall of Fame. Thoughts on Molly Holly?
Okay. Not doing backflips for it, but...
Is it deserved?
I don't know if I'm even qualified for this one. She was. I'll tell you what. On a wrestling level, in ring, oh my God, she was way better than most of the cardboard cutouts around here at the time who were really over.
Right.
So her work rate was fantastic. Yeah, why not? I mean, they've put others in that, in my opinion, probably did a lot less physically for the business than she did. So okay, I guess I'll go with it.
And your thoughts on the AEW explosion match before we go out? I have to. We didn't talk about it, so I just want to know real quick.
Come on,
give me a 2-minute synopsis of what you think.
What an absolute bumblefuck that was. That was ridiculous. That was terrible. I mean, don't they test these things before they, can't you explode a few before, you go on air and you see duds and stuff like that? I just, it was bad.
By the way, Modern Day Warrior says, is Molly named after ecstasy?
I don't know.
Like Molly? Like you're going to have a Molly?
Oh, okay.
Well, anyway, with
ecstasy.
With AEW, you just have to figure out that, you know what? Can't play the big time.
Hey.
Doesn't matter how much money
What
you got.
about the big giant surprise? It was a big name coming.
Okay, so last week, I think I announced that it was going to be AJ Lee.
Right. That would have been more exciting.
But
that would have meant Punk
again, we got Christian.
Yeah. Wow. See this?
Before we send out, I just want to recognize Patrick Rowe, who during the interview sent us a super chat that Sean is a fruit.
Sean is a fruit?
Yeah, that was a fun one. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Sean is a fruit.
Anyway, send us out.
You've been watching Monty and the Pharaoh, and until next time, later.